Well, good morning, Pecan Hill Farms, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Does this look familiar? Yeah, I'd say most duck people who raise ducks, this does look familiar, right? The old kiddie pool. I've learned one thing when it comes to raising ducks. It's a water issue. It's always a water issue. You start off with a swimming pool, you try and they make a mess everywhere. Then you go to buckets, buckets with holes in the side and small pails or things that hold 2 or 3 gallons. Started going with totes with holes in the sides, and no matter what you do, it always turns out to be a muddy mess. So I know I'm an amateur, and I'm not gifted with a pond where they can go down and get water and swim around and enjoy themselves and not make a mess. I don't have that luxury. I'm stuck out here in the middle of town, and so I have to resort to pails or buckets of some sort, or the kiddie pool. So I started looking online. What could I do to make a watering station that didn't make a mess, or try to make a mess? If they do make a mess, it's not much of a mess, limit the mess. Well, I'm not done here yet. You can kind of see my concept here, where I'm working for, but I've started looking online, and I started seeing different people with different ideas. Some guys use the old, like a fence guard, where they put a wire in front of the tub of water, and the ducks can only get their heads in there. Okay, thought about that. Then there's the swimming pool. I saw a fellow that put a drain in the bottom of the swimming pool, and then he opens the drain and drains the water out, and he's got it on sand, I think. Another fellow had his watering stations on sand and gravel to try to limit the mess. And so I'm trying to take all these ideas, put them all together with limited resources, mostly of what I have available to me, and I am going to have to buy a couple things. And this is kind of what I'm trying to come up with. Let me move this out of the way. I've started off with a frame. Now this is a cement board, kind of like hardy board. This is an old version of hardy board that I got from my father-in-law's house that he never used. He had stacks of it. It had gotten so old, though, it started, you pick it up and it just break into pieces. But anyway, I made a frame, and now I have these old rubber mats. I used to use them at work to stand on when I worked as an inspector. And when the plant closed down, we were able to take stuff home with us, so I brought some of these home and used them in my shop. Well, these are old and worn out, and so I thought, well, let's make this as the base. So let's put this down. Let's put the frame around it. It's 4x6, approximately 4x6, and I'm going to try to fill this with sand and gravel. I may try to put a drain system in it, like the fellow that had the drain on his swimming pool, but we'll see how that goes on the kiddie pool. They do make little bitty kiddie pools, I think, at Walmart. They're like 3 sizes, I think: mama bear, papa bear, and baby bear, I guess. I'm going to go look here today at the little pool and see how big it is. I'm going to fill all this up with sand, gravel, maybe some cement block, some other stuff I have around here. I might line it with plastic, and then put this top on it. This is an old vinyl or plastic lattice work. Put that on top of it. Put my waters on top of that. The ducks come up. Hopefully they splash the water around. It falls into this lattice, goes down into the ground, to the gravel, the sand, to where the plastic liner is, and then runs out this way. What I have here at the house I had to have, because of flooding issues, I had to have some swales built. One of them comes along here and then follows down, goes down, and goes down into this creek behind me. Another one comes over here. Sorry for the mess. It comes down from the house. I have a swale in my backyard, and it comes down, follows past that cart on down, meets this other swale, and goes to the creek. So my idea over here is the water that is generated and is comes out of this box it's on a slant here, will go right down into this swale and on down the creek, and it will limit the mess that the ducks make. I might go ahead and go around. I have a lot of old shingles and stuff, and I may put that around the area here around this box. I do have some rubber that extends out past it. Maybe put some sand or gravel on top of that. And so try to cut down on just the muddy mess the ducks make around their water buckets or swimming pools or whatever. So that's my journey. I've gotten this far today. I need to go look at some plastic lining, go price maybe some gravel. I have some leftover sand that was made, they left when they had to install a new septic system. I might use that to build this up, and put my plastic down, then put the gravel on top of that, and try to get it for that water just runs out this area here and then down into this swale. And so that's my plans. Now, it is kind of embarrassing to show y'all how bad it looks behind my house. It is behind my house, behind my fence there. I try to keep it away from where my wife can see out the back window, but it is kind of embarrassing. But I'm going to have to work on that. My goal here, after I get this completed, I'm going to try to run water out here, and maybe put me a faucet out here, so I can come right out here. I can turn on the faucet, fill up the water, clean out the bowl, whatever has to be done, and it'll all be right here. So my goal is to try to clean this place up. I know I've got a wood stack over here behind the house. You know, I don't have any neighbors that can see, you know, unless you get that direction, and they can't see over the fences. So it is secluded, but there is just some stuff I need to get rid of. And so I've got to come up with a way either to burn some of this stuff, which if you see, I have been burning, give it away. You know, we're not having a spring cleaning this year in this town because of this virus, so that's probably out of the question. I usually have, you know, that time of the year where you just load stuff up and take it and dump it free of charge. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But so anyway, that's my goal, is to clean this place up. I've been trying to clean this. I had a lady that was staying with us, and she got back here and started cleaning this forest, all the vines and everything. I mean, she has really cleared that out really good. If you knew what it looked like before, you would be amazed, because it started about here. She's cleaned it back about 20 feet. We call her Gabby, and that girl can work. I tell you what, she's really cleaned this up, trying to pull down these vines and clear out this brush and everything. So anyway, thank you, Gabby. So I've got to clean this place up, but I've got to get this thing built first. I've got to solve this. Water problem with the ducks, and it'd be out of the way. If it ends up being kind of a mess again, it's out of the way, and so hopefully it'll work out. So I'm going to go to town today and get some things, and then we'll have to come back and keep working on it, and I'll show you what I'm doing. We'll see you later. Thanks. Okay, we're back out here. It's been a crazy week. I hadn't got back out here as quick as I wanted to finish this water station for the ducks. But here's what I've done since the last time. We had put the siding down as a frame, and I'd put this rubber mat down here that I had to try to direct any water that gets through to flow down. So then I came along and I put in, this, I'm trying to do it as least cost as possible. I came in and put in this dirt that I had left over from when they installed the septic system and built that up a little bit. Now I've come along and put plastic down as I'm trying to direct that water that does go through down to the other side, the downslope, because I have a swale, remember, right around here, so I want to direct that water away. I want it down, going down to the swale. Okay, then I came along here and I had all these shingles left over that I'd used once before, and I had taken them and taken them off the quail house and saved them. So I said, well, one big problem with ducks is that anytime around their water they get it muddy, they like to dig holes. They like to eat that mud or get that mud, mess around with that mud, and then they put their beaks into the water, and by the end of the day or such, you've got a half inch of mud in the bottom of these water buckets. So my thought was, if I could put down this shingling, and I want to put some mulch on top of it, I'll have to get some more, but if I can put down the shingling and extend it around this frame here, that maybe they won't be apt to mess around in the mud and in the water and in the mud, and then get it in that water. So I put that around here. I'm extending out a couple feet from around the frame. May not be enough. I may have to get some more and make it wider. I'll have just to watch them. Then something cheap to fill up the rest of this frame that this lattice is going to sit on. I went and got this cypress mulch. I wanted to get the big pine bark, but it's usually very inexpensive. But and it would be easy for water to flow through, but they didn't have any at Lowe's. Maybe they don't carry it anymore. I know pine bark mulch is kind of on the outs with a lot of landscapers and peat gardeners. So they had this cypress mulch, which was about the cheapest I could get. And so I'm filling up. I fill up on that side, and I'll fill up on this side with the mulch to make it level, and for this lattice to be able to sit down on it with some stability. Okay, now I looked for a little swimming pool, couldn't find one. I guess they're all sold out. And so I got this thing, and I paid money for this rascal, and I put a kitchen sink drain trap thing in there. So my idea is, the lattice is down. I'm going to drill a hole through this lattice. I'm going to set this down, and I've got me a little drain hole right here, drain here, and I'll stick this down into this drain. I'm going to do it here without messing everything up. Okay, and then I've got this drain running out here straight towards that low spot, that swale. Okay, so that's my plan, is to put that lattice down, put this water trough in there, and then I've got a basket, so I'll put the basket in there. That'll seal that up, fill it with water, and then when I'm ready to drain it, you just reach down in there and pull that out, and it'll drain right on out. I can wash it down, put that back in, that stopper back in, and then fill it back up again. To try to keep water from being all around here. I'll go over to here where I had some buckets. And if you raise, I guess if you raise ducks or try to raise ducks, you know what I mean. I try to put these buckets by the swale so that when I empty them, it'd go right down into there. But you can see they just make a muddy mess all around their feed, all around their, not their feed, their water, and they start digging little holes with their beaks, and they just make a muddy mess. So I'm trying to beat them at their own game here. So hopefully with this, with the way I'm doing it here, hopefully I'll cut down on the mud and the mess significantly. Hard for me to say that word, significantly. So only time will tell. So I'm going to get back at this and see if I can finish this today and get it set up and ready to go, and I'll bring you back and we'll give it a try. And of course it'll take these ducks maybe a day to figure out where the water's at. Even if I stand over the hose and make all sorts of racket, it takes them a while to adjust. But once they adjust, we'll come back and we'll update and see how this is going. So let me put this down and this tablet down, and I will continue here and try to get this done, and then bring you back when I'm finished with it. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Well, I think I'm just about finished up. I have put some new water containers here for the ducks. I got the one here with the water in it and the drain in it. We'll see if they may knock that out once they get there and start flopping around. We'll see. Then I reused one of their old pails here, dishes for water, and then I put this blue thing in here. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We'll find out. But you can see, I don't know if you can see where I dropped some water, and when I was filling those up, it has started leaking out like I wanted on this end, and it's leaking on the shingles and running down toward where I'm standing here by the swale. If I have to come along and add another row along here, I don't know if this I got this poultry netting here. I don't know if this asphalt shingle, if it conducts electricity. I'll have to check that out. If it doesn't, I could put it all the way down past this netting, and that way the water will drain all the way out, and it won't get muddy and cause those ducks to start using their beaks to dig holes and stuff in the mud. But anyway, so there it is. I had to pay, I bought that hefty shallow container. That was like $9. I hated to spend it, but there it is. I paid about $9 for the mulch, and then around $9 for that kitchen strainer there, that drain. So I've got less than 30. Everything else is stuff I have here on the homestead. I'm probably going to have to make some kind of a stairs or something to make it easier for them to get up there. I have some old cedar railing I may put down, and they can step on that and step up on there easy. But anyway, we're going to try this out, see how it works. I'll let you know and bring you back on an update. I may end up buying more mulch to put along here to make it look a little nicer. There's nobody around here, but for my own taste, I might put some mulch around here to make that look a little nicer. And hopefully I've conquered the mud problem. We'll find out. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching Pecan Hill Farms. been a wild week. I've had a couple funerals I've had to go to. Things that have happened that I wish I hadn't happened, as far as people passing away. But maybe we'll get things will calm down a little bit, hopefully. And we'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a wonderful day.